Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Rose Tarot and Astrology. I am your host, Mel Rose, and today is Wednesday, August 14, 2024. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for showing up to learn about your current astrology. I hope you are all feeling happy and well and supported and appreciated at this time. I am very grateful and happy to be here with you. Obviously, it's a gorgeous morning here in Lee Summit, Missouri, and I hope that you all are enjoying good weather and good feelings and good times wherever you are. Before I get into today's astrology, I want to remind you that on Saturday, September 7th, I'm giving a class online through Nadia Shah's Synchronicity University. And this is a class about sort of knowing where your moon is in your natal chart and knowing what the moon is doing right now, because the moon is always changing. It moves very quickly. To using that information to navigate so that you can have comfort and ease in your personal life, so in your home life especially. So please join me for that, Saturday, September 7th, Nadia Shah, Synchronicity University. The link should be in the description, or you can just look Synchronicity University up online and you'll see my beautiful face there, and you can sign up for those classes as little as $5 per class. Now there are 5 classes in that series, so when you sign up for one, you're signing up for 5 and you'll pay $25. But that's a whole lot of astrological information and insight into your own chart if you want it for $25. So please join me Saturday, September 7th. And today the sun is in Leo, and Leo, we're in the last week of Leo, so it's a good time to look back on how Leo season has been going for us. Leo is a lot about self-expression and taking pride in what we're doing, what we're working, what we're creating, what we're showing the world, and also showing appreciation to others for what they bring to our world. So I hope, like we all know the importance of feeling appreciated for what we bring to the picture. And so I hope that we're all remembering as well to show appreciation to others for what they bring to our lives, to our, especially to our happiness, to our gratitude. Allow yourself to show how you feel when you feel a positive way about somebody, especially, okay? And then the moon today is in Sagittarius. It is a waxing gibbous, so we're coming up close to that full moon, which is next Monday. And during the waxing gibbous, we are working to get a couple of things accomplished in time for that full moon, so we can pat ourselves on the back and say, hey, I accomplished something this month, okay? And the moon in Sagittarius, now we've got a sun in Leo and a moon in Sagittarius, so this is fire. It's a very fiery, impulsive drive. In fact, with fire, you get a lot of those imp words. You get impulse, you get impatience, you get impetuousness, which just means going forward and letting the chips fall where they may, right? Not thinking about the consequences, just acting on impulse. And, sometimes that works out really well for us, and some of us are really good at acting on impulse and having things work out for us. For others of us, I know for me, as a fire sign, being impulsive, it's about 50-50, okay? If I act on impulse every time, I'll have a good result about half the time and a frustrating impulse about half the time, okay? So what I have learned is when I feel impulsive, and this is what I'm telling you, regardless of your elemental makeup, when the sun and the moon are both in fire, you want to watch your impulsiveness, you want to watch your impetuousness, you want to think about things before you act on them, okay? Especially because Mercury right now is retrograde, and Mercury is active today. Mercury is going to make a quincunx to Pluto and then back up into Leo. So Mercury's been retrograde in Virgo, now it's backing up into Leo. And Mercury in Leo is a different vibe from Mercury in Virgo, because Mercury's at home in Virgo, dotting I's, crossing T's, making sure we have all the details in line for our plans, which is very important, especially when Mercury is retrograde. Now, Mercury in Leo is a little bit more about self-expression, right? It's a little bit more about how you're going to shine and what you're going to tell people, and, how you're going to show up for people. I just want to remind you that with these fiery vibes, with the impulsiveness, we just want to step back sometimes. If you realize that you're feeling impulsive, if you realize you're about to act on impulse, maybe you're about to take an action that nobody knows that you're about to take, it might be a good idea just to stop and give it some thought for a moment. Ask yourself, who else do my actions impact, right? Does there need to be a conversation? Does there need to be an adjustment to the plan for the day, that kind of thing? Okay, we don't want to be so impulsive or rash under these fiery vibes that we burn ourselves. Okay, so impulsiveness is fine. It's great. There's nothing wrong with being impulsive. But we want to remember that Mercury is retrograde and giving us some challenges right now, and we just want to make sure. It's just a making sure kind of thing, okay? So that Mercury quincunx Pluto today, before Mercury backs up into Leo, Mercury is going to have this adjustment energy with Pluto, and Pluto is sort of like the low bass note of constant change and transformation that we're going through. And the changes are so minute that you only see them over time. But then Pluto has this habit, moves very slowly, but then occasionally will seem to move us from one place to another very quickly. It's almost like if you've been resisting a transformation or you've been resisting a change, Pluto will come and say, well, I want you over here, so we're just gonna change things up very quickly. Things will transform in our lives very quickly, and then we'll be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm doing this right now, okay? So the way it's working today is Mercury is retrograde and Pluto is like kind of just around the corner, just out of sight. So there are transformations at work, there are changes at work right now that we are not necessarily aware of, that we don't necessarily see them coming, or there might be some some details that we were not aware of just around the corner, out of sight. Okay, so when those details become apparent to you, when those that necessity for change or that necessity for an internal adjustment comes along, you might be a little bit surprised, but I'm saying be prepared. Okay, so when those changes show up, you can be ready to receive them. And again, ask all the questions, make sure that you have the details that you need to move forward in a way where you feel confident that you're not surprising yourself or hurting anybody, or hurting yourself or hurting anybody else, or surprising anybody else in an unpleasant way, right? Because again, in Sun and Leo, it's all about how we show up and how we are perceived. So in addition to all of that's happening right now, we have a big one today, and this is Mars conjunct Jupiter. And I just want to remind you that when we have these aspects, when we have these vibrations that I talk about, when I talk about them on the day, that's the day when it is at its fullest expression. Okay, but these are tones that sort of start very low several days before, and then they crescendo to a full tone on the day of, and then after that they sort of I don't remember the word for decrescendo. They decrescendo back out. So today is the full day. This is the big day, but you might be feeling these vibes for a week in either direction, because this is Mars conjunct Jupiter. Mars has been creeping up on this conjunction to Jupiter today. Mars conjunct Jupiter, that's, like assertiveness and action and drive to go forward, combined and under pressure with a positive sense of expansion, a desire to learn and grow and be bigger, and the potential and possibility for that to happen. With Jupiter, it's like you put in effort and Jupiter meets you halfway and gives you good fortune along the lines of those efforts. Okay, so if you're working in the right direction, Jupiter will see you and they'll say, yes, come on, let's do it. And they'll give you more opportunity. So Mars under pressure and combined with Jupiter, this can be a very good luck day, and it can be very positive in terms of like what I'm acting on. Okay, Mars is action and it's forward motion. So what I'm acting on, it has the potential to blow up for me. What I'm acting on has the potential to get bigger for me. Okay, so today I'm acting on this because I want this to grow for me and to get bigger for me. I love talking with my audience, and I'm trying to grow it so that I can hopefully reach out to more people and share this regular daily astrology with everybody in the world, right? That's my personal plan for global domination. So when you're thinking about your personal plan for global domination and the things you're willing to do to get there, that's Mars. And when you're thinking about global domination, that's Jupiter, okay? And I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't mean that in a supervillain way. I'm just like, I just think that like we all have an idea what it would look like for us to feel as though we were completely in charge of ourselves and our lives in the world, right? Just your own personal plan for ultimate living, right? For the ultimate life in this world. So remember, okay, that we have action under pressure with good fortune, and act on the things that you want to have good fortune, okay? Act on the things that you want to see get bigger in your life. Be doing that now. Be doing that all the time, right? I mean, that just seems like, it just seems like wisdom to to always be acting on what it is that you want to grow, right? But especially at this time, there's a very good fortune vibe for it. It's very intense. You might have some surprises. Some things might come up that you had no idea. You scratch that lottery ticket and all of a sudden you have $50,000 more. It's kind of that vibration, but definitely be taking action on those things that you want to see grow and blossom and bloom and get bigger in your life. And that's just today, friends. We have so much coming up over the next week. I just want to let you know, and I'm not even going to go through all the details right now, but I just want to let you know that there's a lot of stuff going on in the sky this week and next, and there are a lot of conflicting energies, and that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be bad or hard, but really we have that Jupiter kind of expansion feeling and we have that Saturn kind of contraction feeling, okay? They do two different things and they are both at work in our skies right now. So you might be feeling things pulling back and getting a little restrictive, or you might feel things expanding and growing in a way that makes you feel very optimistic, or you might be witnessing kind of both things happen in your life at once. Please don't take on more than you think you can chew at this time, okay? Take it easy on yourself. Don't overburden yourself. Don't say yes to too much at this time, okay? Say, hey, can I talk to you about that in a week? You know, we can make that plan. Can I talk to you about it in a week? Because we already have a lot on our plates right now, and in the sky we have a lot on that plate as well, and it's just going to be quite a wacky week ahead in astrology. Now, I hope you all have great, peaceful, predictable, fine, fun, loving weeks, and it is entirely possible that you will. Watch the world, though. The world is in a bit of chaos and turmoil right now. There are positive things happening. There are some pretty heavy negative things happening. And we just want to, you know, part of that, you know, that is part of what we have to process as human beings in our lives every day. So take it easy on yourself. Go easy, go slow. I used to listen to this radio show where the lady would say, go easy, and if you can't go easy as you can. So that's my guidance for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate your presence here. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you all on Friday in the next one.